There are moments in life that drag us to our knees, not to pray, but to scream. The loss of a child, the betrayal by someone you considered even more than a brother or a sister, the sickness that eats away every bit of hope you have, the grief of watching your own mother forget your name, the silence of God when you needed Him to speak the most. You stare at the ceiling and ask yourself, why me? And there's no answer, no angel, no miracle, only the song of your own breaking heart. People say, just pray about it. But how do you pray when your prayers have turned into ashes? How do you believe when everything sacred has burned? This is where we meet the real fire. The fire that doesn't destroy you, but reveals you. You see, God does not break you to punish you. He breaks you to remake you. Every tradition that has ever carried truth speaks of this. Before the light, there is darkness. Before wisdom, there is weeping. Before rebirth, there is death. In ancient Egypt, initiates were sealed in tombs for days, left in darkness to face their fears, their false identities, their gods and their ghosts. That was not punishment. That was refinement. And so it is with us. Life places us in our own sarcophagus when everything we thought defined us collapses. The job, the marriage, the union. We are then forced to ask, who am I now that everything familiar has gone, has died? The pain is not the end. It is the furnace of beginning. Just as raw gold must endure heat to be purified, so must the human soul walk through the fire to remember what it is made of. Science has begun to echo what mystics have always known. When trauma strikes, the amygdala, the brain's alarm, floods the body with fear. But when we reinterpret the meaning of our pain, something miraculous happens. Neuroplasticity, which is the ability of the brain to rewire itself, awakens. New neural synapses form. New hormones are released. The body stops fighting life and starts learning from it. Cortisol gives way to serotonin. Inflammation cools. The immune system strengthens. Cells begin to remember peace. Every time you choose presence over panic, every time you decide this will not destroy me, you change the entire chemistry of your existence. Your biology obeys your belief. Your body is the crucible. Soul is the goal, and the spirit is the flame. You are not broken. You are being recoded. On the invisible level, what we call suffering is actually initiation. Your heartbreak cracked open your heart chakra because your soul needed more capacity for love. Your illness slowed your body so that your spirit could speak. Your betrayal dismantled your illusions of loyalty so you could finally learn discernment. Every pain was permission, not to die, but to awaken. In Hermetic law, nothing evolves without fire. In alchemy, calcination, the burning is the first stage of transformation. In Kabbalah, Shevarat HaKelem, the shattering of the vessels was necessary for divine light to be released. Even in Christianity, Christ had to descend into hell before resurrection could occur. You cannot transcend what you have not transformed, and you cannot transform what you refuse to face. So if you are in the dark right now, if you are burning, then congratulations. You are in the oldest ceremony known to man, the initiation of the soul. But how you choose to interpret your experiences plays a critical role in your development. Two people experience the same tragedy. One becomes bitter, the other becomes better. The difference is not what happened. The difference is in its meaning. You've been calling it a breakdown, but what if it's a breakthrough? You've been calling it abandonment, but what if it is divine redirection? You've been calling it rejection, but what if it's actually protection? The universe mirrors our interpretation. What we call it, it becomes. Pain does not define you. Your perspective does. Nothing means anything except the meaning that you give to it. Change the meaning, and the story rewrites itself. When you decide that you are not a victim and start seeing your pain as purpose, you step into divine authorship and heaven begins to echo your courage. I've seen it time and time again. A mother who lost her son to gun violence now counsels other grieving parents. A man wrongfully imprisoned for 17 years now teaches inner freedom. A survivor of sexual abuse now runs a sanctuary for healing. A police officer who saw too much darkness now speaks light into broken systems. A son who buried both parents and still found his way back to hope now chooses to teach others how to rise. Pain didn't reduce them, it refined them. They walked through fire and came out glowing. But let's go even deeper. Pain doesn't just change the mind, it changes your energetic frequency. When grief surges, the heart electromagnetic field collapses. When you begin to forgive, that field starts expanding again, measurable, radiant, coherent. Energy moves through the spine like the coiled serpent that is known as Kundalini. Every heartbreak, every surrender unblocks another gate along your inner temple. From the root of survival to the crown of divine communion. This is not mysticism. This is sacred physics. As your consciousness refines, your cells begin to vibrate at higher coherence. Your blood chemistry aligns with love. Your DNA begins to sync differently, and the universe, always faithful, responds in resonance. You are not a victim of reality. You are a frequency that is generating it. There's a stage every mystic knows, the dark night of the soul. This is where prayers hit ceilings, where hope feels like mockery, where even your own breathing feels heavy. It is not the end, it is the womb. A seed doesn't know it's growing in darkness. It only knows it's being buried. But what it perceives as burial is actually a planting. Likewise, you are not dying. You are germinating. You are being prepared to bloom. You thought you were being buried, but you were being planted. You thought you were being punished, but you were being purified. If you are presently facing that fire and need help navigating through it, here are 5 directives that you can apply to help you. 1. Don't escape the fire. Enter it consciously. Pain is not discernment. Pain is revelation. Stop running from what's trying to teach you. Sit with your sorrow. Let it speak. When you face the fire with awareness, it refines you, not destroy you. You won't be undone by what you face consciously, only by what you avoid. 2. Reframe your story. You are the author, not the victim. Shift the question from why me to what is this awakening in me? Every time you change your interpretation, your brain rewires, your spirit recalibrates, and your power returns. The phoenix rises because it refused to call the fire failure. 3. Align your body with your belief. Your body listens to your thoughts. Breathe like you're safe. Move like you're healed. Rest like you're whole. Every inhale invites spirit in. Every exhale releases what no longer serves. When body and belief agree, creation responds. 4. Turn your pain into practice. Don't let your suffering sit idle. Transform it into something sacred. Art, teaching, compassion, truth. Your wound becomes your wisdom. Your story becomes your medicine. What once broke you becomes the bridge that heals others. 5. Remember, you are the gold. Gold doesn't fear the fire. It understands it. You are not being punished. You are being purified. Even in the ashes, your essence remains untouchable. You are not your scars. You are the light that shines through them. There will come a day when you will look back at all of this and say, I didn't die in that fire. I was born through it. You will see how every heartbreak shaped your compassion, how every loss sculpted your wisdom, how every unanswered prayer was a redirection toward your destiny. You were never being reduced. You were being refined. You were never being destroyed. You were being designed. And the fire that once threatened to consume you has become the light that now guides you. You were never meant to stay shattered. You were meant to shine. This is the sacred curriculum. Lesson complete.